And front page of The Guardian, all other papers too, really. The story that we were told was not going to happen was definitely not going to be a thing. We were never going to have to say this, and it is happening. It is a thing. And that is urgent review to be held into grooming gangs. Gitto, they said it wasn't going to be so, didn't they?
Yeah, but I think on another channel that you sometimes appear on, radio, that I predicted this a long time ago. I could see that they're rolling the pitch for it. It's inevitable. It's the right thing to do. I thought it was a lousy choice in Parliament that you could either have measures now or a full investigation of the facts. Binary choices that were mad. It's right to look into it. It's really important. The scale of the scandal's off the charts. And it's good that it's going to be done and dusted in 3 months.
And yet, Nilufer, it's going to take 3 months. It's going to cost, they estimate, and that's a preliminary estimation, about £10 million. Do you think that this is a worthwhile use of money and time?
Not at all. Not at all, because we've just had one of these reports, the J report, of course, that came out, and the government accepted many of the measures suggested in that report, as opposed to the Tory government, who commissioned it and then did nothing. So I do feel like some steps are being made. Look, what new things is this going to reveal that we didn't know in 2001? There's not been enough time passed, and I don't think that this kind of... I don't quite understand the difference between an urgent review and a large-scale sort of, a report that needs to be done.
We can talk about that in a second, but Shadow Home Secretary Chris Philp has slammed the plans. Let's see what he has to say.
The Home Secretary said nothing in her statement about the powers these local inquiries will have. It seems they will not be statutory inquiries under the 2005 Act. That means these local inquiries will not have the power to compel witnesses to attend or to take evidence under oath or to requisition written evidence. So if that's the case, how can they possibly get to the truth when faced with cover-ups? These powers are needed, the legal powers, because these crimes were deliberately covered up in some cases.
Meanwhile, we've become very used to both seeing, saying and hearing this. Elon Musk has responded on X by saying, "I hope this is a proper investigation." Speaking on BBC Question Time, Culture Minister Chris Bryant admitted it was Elon Musk's comments that forced the government to take action.
But do you think Yvette Cooper would have been standing up in the House of Commons making the announcement she's making today, and also made last week, if it wasn't?
Because no, undoubtedly, all of this has been expedited because of the debate that we've had over the last fortnight. Undoubtedly, I'm quite happy to say that. But look, I mean, I think it's good that we're having that debate because, as I say, this is one of the most despicable things that we've seen in British society for years.
And Gitto, we can see what he did there, can't we? Suddenly, I'm going to switch what I'm saying, and I'm going to ask you about Elon Musk instead of talking about grooming. The focus shifts. He's very adept at doing that. He's doing it all over the world. It is really quite extraordinary, but probably no less or more extraordinary than a minister saying, yeah, well, it's probably because of Elon Musk that we're doing this. That's unbelievable, isn't it?
Well, it shows the power of the guy, but I think the healthy response is to say we take what Elon Musk says, particularly when he says it very crudely and aggressively, with a massive pinch of salt. However, on this occasion, on this particular issue, he's done us all a favour because Chris Bryant is spot on. This is one of the most shameful things that has happened in the last decade, and I don't think the public at large have clocked it. I don't think the last inquiry, it looked at the response of institutions to what happened, not what actually led to the mass repetitive rape of a whole generation of women across the north of England. I can't think of anything more worthy of investigation.
But on what planet is it acceptable that an American, however wealthy, however powerful, will issue some kind of bulletin from his sofa on X, and our government will jump to it and admit that it's been prompted to do so by him? It seems extraordinary.
Well, President Musk, as he's often called in the US, especially with the influence he has on US politics, is obviously wanting to be Prime Minister Musk. He wants to have a say in this country and how we run things, and to kind of pick at the scab, as you've said, Gitto, of one of the most vile things to happen in the last 20 years in this country is shameful. Moreover, these edicts, these proclamations that he seems to make on X have no bearing in terms of what the British public thinks is important. He is shouting into the void as he does. I find it so hard. And I couldn't disagree more with the minister when he said that he is shaping British politics. I mean, really.
It's an astounding situation. But
Honestly.
are you not a little deterred in your enthusiasm from the fact that powers are going to be very limited? So it's going to be 3 months at least. It's going to cost £10 million at least. And yet, who will be accountable? What will the upshot of it be? Since I feel as if we all have a pretty good overview of the atrocities already.
I mean, how much lawyers charge whenever they, get out of bed in the morning is a completely separate thing. And that's why it always costs a lot. Do I think that this needs a proper investigation? Yes, I do. Hopefully this will help.